Hello, everyone. So I just spent about, time is it? I left at about 10, so about 6 hours and 45 minutes ago, because I saw a couple weeks ago that the Bear was having a pop up in LA, and I saw that it was basically down the street from us, and it's on 3rd Street. And so I'm like, I gotta go check this out. I gotta go give it a shot. This morning, I wake up, I'm thinking, okay, I'll leave around 10. I did that. Get there around 10:30. There can't be that big of a line. It's not like an insane deal. I was wrong. I was I was horribly wrong. I'm getting closer and closer. I see the line is wrapping around the corner, and I'm like, "Oh, I don't know if I'm going to do this." So I follow it, and then I'm thinking in the back of my head, I'm like, I saw that the Bear did this last year, and I saw Jeremy Allen White popped up there, and I'm like, you know what? Like, it's worth it. It's there once a year. I've never had like a Chicago like an Italian beef sandwich. So I was like, you know what? It may as well be time to try it out. It's the perfect opportunity. I just watched the 4th season a couple weeks ago, and so I was like, all right, let's do it. Let's get in the line and see how long this takes. Mind you, 10:30. It opened at 11. I'm thinking, okay, like once it's 11, we'll see how fast the line is moving. I'll make up a decision at that point. 11 comes around. I've befriended a couple people in the line. We were talking about the show a little bit. We There was a license plate on a Porsche across the street, and we were all looking at it, and we're like, "Where's that from? Where's that from?" And then like 30, 40 minutes later, I'm like, "All right, let me go run across the street and check." I go to check, and as I'm like going to look closer at the license plate, the owner comes up to the car, and so it was just perfect timing, and he was super cool about it. And I'm like, yo, like, where is your car from? And he's like, what? He's like, what are you talking about? And I'm like, where did you get the car? And he's like, it's from Ensenada. And I'm like, and he's like, I got it in Mexico. And I'm like, oh, so we all had been looking. I asked ChatGPT what the numbers were. It said it was a German license plate. And then we went straight to the source, and it turns out it was from Mexico. So it was pretty cool, and it was pretty crazy because everybody there that I was talking to, everyone lives in LA, and they're like, it's so weird. Like, we've never actually seen a Mexico license plate. And so that was random. That was a fun little thing. Then we um then we see Ibra from the show, the dude that runs basically the actual beef stand, and his arc in season 4. No spoilers, but I really like where his character is going, and so it was awesome. Got to meet him and chopped it up with him for a little bit, and then we're just waiting. I look at my phone. I realize, okay, hour and a half, 2 hours have passed. I realized I was in it. I'm like, okay, I'm here. I met one of the dudes. Like, I'm in the line. I'm talking to the people. Like, it was cool. Then the next thing you know, the little robot, the delivery robots that have the food, one of those guys comes and just cannot comprehend the whole line that's like formed around everywhere. So it's like going up onto the grass, and like it got stuck on a tree. And so then we like a bunch of people had to move it like back onto the sidewalk, and then we were just like cheering. Everyone was cheering the little robot on while it was going. So that killed some time. Then then it just became the long stretch. Then like once you got to like the corner of the roundabout, mind you, this is like block here, block here, block here, and we're like all the way at the back. So we finally get up to that corner, and then there's just no more shade. Just that's like the final stretch. And so then we were all just kind of chilling, talking, hanging out, and eventually we got into the shop. And actually, no, let me rewind. About 5 minutes before we get in, there one of the workers comes out, and he goes, we're sorry everyone, but there's not. We want to make sure we have sandwiches for everyone, so everyone's only able to get one sandwich at this point. I was devastated, and all the people I was with devastated, because at that time we're 5.5 hours into the wait. We're like, we're each gonna get at least two sandwiches just to make it worth it. Like, have one tonight, have one tomorrow. And we come to realize that there's a hot one and there's a not hot one. And so we finally get in, and before I get to that story, let me rewind a little bit more. So once we're like in that blistering sun area, then they had like genuine like gelato. It was lemon flavored, and they were coming out, so they were giving little cups to people, and just they had like a little tap to pay thing, so it was super easy, convenient. The gelato was super good, but it was still like in the middle of a 5.5 hour line wait. So it was nice, but it was like, okay, this would be enjoyable if I just had it like without all of the extra stuff going on. Um, so yeah, so that was just the little gelato part. But that gelato was actually made by I forget the actual terminology, but basically like the culinary director of the bear. And so this lady that like actually makes the majority of that like insane food that you see on the show, she's in charge of all of it. And so I think that it was her business that was doing the gelato stuff, so that was super cool. Um and so yeah, we tried that. Then fast forward back to where I was. We get inside the place, and I'm like pretty devastated over this whole only one sandwich per person thing. And so then and we go up to the front, and I had seen someone outside with a tote bag, and I'll show you the tote bag first because it's pretty cool. And I was like, I'm gonna need me one of those. So look at this guy. This is pretty sweet. And I don't have like my own tote bag. I just have like random bags. And so I feel like having an actual tote bag, like this is a nice one too. So this will just be good to have. Um, and so then I'm talking to all the people. I'm like, what if I can convince them to like give me one of each of the sandwiches? If I'll be buying merch. I'll say all this, say all this. And so I I start talking to the lady there, and she's pushing back. She's like, we have to strictly enforce it. And I'm like, we were literally like three people outside the door when they said that, and we've been here for 6 hours since basically before open. And she's like, we can't. And then the lady, I think it was the culinary director, for lack of knowing the actual terminology. I She was like, she's really in charge. And I was like, could you please just ask? I was like, I don't want to have to come wait in line for 6 hours tomorrow to just try like the other sandwich. So she turns around, asks, and the lady and the culinary director is like, yeah, like just do it for him. Like, just don't let anyone bring more than four things at once. Awesome. I'm like, thank you so much. Like, I got the tote. I was like, and before that, I was like, I don't even know if I want the tote bag. I was like, could you please ask? And so then we talked. I got the tote bag. I'm very happy with it. Ah, I lost my hat. Um, and then they also had this T-shirt. My parents would hate me for spending all this money on this, but I think it's pretty cool. And so look at this one. You got Mr. Beef on the front, and then you got like the weekend special Mr. Beef with all the 3 for 1, and like it's pretty sweet. It like commemorates the little event they did. And so yeah, so those are all the things. And then I got both of them. So right now I'll actually go ahead and try both of them. I might have to run away for a second. I got the original one right here. Look at that. Look at that. So let me just unwrap it a little bit. All right. Taste test, here we come. It looks good. It looks greasy, but I feel like for a sandwich like this, that's kind of what you want. Mmm, that hits. Kind of tastes like a. This is the not hot one, by the way. It tastes kind of like a Philly cheesesteak without the bell peppers. I mess with it. Oh yeah, that's awesome. That one's sweet. So the classic is an absolute banger. Yeah, low key. No, actually, no spoilers. No spoilers. Never mind. I was about to say something about the show. But let me grab the hot one real quick. Give me 2 seconds, and we'll be right back. All right, and we're back. So I'll probably leave that in, but as I stood up to get the hot one, the entire tripod collapsed and the phone fell on the floor, so I ended it. But here we go. Let me unwrap this one for y'all. This is the hot one. I'm just kind of going like this from the top. You might hate me for unwrapping it like this, but it is what it is. All right. Look at that. Bread looking nice, looking greasy. Mmm. That is way less hot than I was expecting. That is flavorful as hell, though. That is amazing. Ooh, the hot one's good. I don't even know if they should market this as hot, but this is crazy. Mmm. All right. The pink and the blue, just a little bit messy, but we rocking with it. Both were absolutely amazing. I'm actually very happy that I went and did that because it's only here once a year. It's a Chicago beef. I feel like that's cool just to have. I love the bear, so I feel like it was just yeah, that was a good experience too in general. Like going through the whole process of it, then the people actually like working with me to let me try both of them, and they had free drinks too, and the Coca Colas have Star Wars stuff on them. Love that. But yeah, no, I'm thoroughly impressed with these sandwiches. I'm definitely gonna cut both of them in half right now and save halves of them, and then just chomp down the rest. But yeah, that was really good. I'm happy that I went and did that. Gelato was pretty awesome. Sandwiches pretty awesome. People were pretty awesome. I met a bunch of nice people, and yeah. So other than that, not really much else to say. I hope you all have a good day. Subscribe to the Wavy Network. Drop a like. Leave a comment if you can, and watch the bear. And have a good day.